Soham into these pick and ban phase. Team Glorious in that first ban, first pick position. Team Wildfire, second ban, second pick position. Start off with that Tassadar ban, followed up Wildfire Stitches ban. And we see a really interesting draft here where Tychus gets first pick by Glorious. Everything's going as expected. Wildfire doesn't pick up Arthas. They actually take Falstad Zeratul, and Glorious ends up with Tychus and Arthas.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really tough call to make. We've talked about before, Pickles has one of the nastiest Zeratuls throughout the entire alpha. He has been playing him since like almost day one. Like every time I see a Zeratul, I just assume it's Pickles because in solo queue because that's just all I see him on. So I can understand that, but Falstad over Arthas is a bit interesting. Giving ZP Arthas is pretty scary.
Yeah, definitely scary. Falstad also, we haven't seen him be a high priority pick in these games, so taking him on this first round, I feel like Zeratul Arthas just probably where they wanted to be.
Unless they had a game plan going in where they were like, let's aim for these specific heroes. Yeah. I mean, that's the only way it makes sense to me.
Their lineup does end up being Falstad, Zeratul, Uther, Diablo, Witch Doctor, and that team composition goes crazy if they land a good Void Prison. I mean, APOC, Divine Storm, Shock and Awe, and Ravenous Spirit, incredible. Yeah. Absolutely incredible post-Void Prison. So if they can line that up, it's going to be huge. Yeah. And while Arthas doesn't really have that combo potential, he's still solid afterwards. So I can see why they made that choice, but giving Glorious, Tychus, Arthas, Vala, Rhaegar, Barbarian, really scary.
Now, there's something I want to ask you about this Zeratul pick. He's not bugged, but some aspect, the queuing aspect of the game is bugged, where you can't queue the, why am I forgetting the name of the spell?
It's called Singularity Spike.
Singularity Spike.
And it's, at level 16, you gain access to the double bomb talent. That's what you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay, so in the game right now, people are having difficulty casting the double bomb talented Singularity Spikes in a timely fashion. Yeah. It's alpha. There are some issues in this patch. They introduced a thing where abilities queue a little differently, and now it doesn't work quite as well. I don't think it's going to be a problem preventing Zeratul from being playable, right? But it can cause him to not be quite as good as he was before.
Yeah, it's not going to be something that it's something we want to point out before going to that this is an alpha, both the cast and the game itself. So things like this will happen. It's still a fantastic game though, and just wanted to note that before we dive straight into it.
Zoya would also like to point out it has Witch Doctor in it. So
Witch Doctor!
It's just alright. Well, that's enough about the drafts and the team composition, Zoya. Let's get into this game. 5 seconds in, normal speed, checking out this blue team. Let's get it going. In 3, 2, 1. We have Pooms on the Diablo Master Skinned Blue, as usual. Pickles on the Zeratul, Iacona on that Uther, Bim's rocking the Magical Witch Doctor, and Wargreymon on that Falstad.
Glorious Gaming, we have ZP on Arthas, Glaurung on Sonya, Syracuse on Vala, Cthulhu Luck on Tychus, and Soma running out of the Rhaegar. And we do immediately see both teams stacking the lanes that their Golem is pushing down.
Yeah, so this is something meta has kind of shifted towards. Teams are getting more aware of the fact that you really want to put pressure on the lane your Golem is in. And while what side you start on doesn't really matter that much, because you're going to level 1 to your Watchtower anyway, it's just interesting to see the focus kind of shift from everyone in the top lane to try and get damage in the lane your Golem is in.
Yeah, it's shifted pretty quickly too. Might have had something to do with the new Mines map layout. Oh, Pickle's getting a little bit ballsy there with that approach. Ends up having to back off. Could have gotten caught. There's a lot of knockback potential if you whiff your blink. Zeratul is so squishy.
Absolutely. But it's so easy to be ridiculously crazy when you have that blink up. You feel invincible. But if you get hit by that Arthas root, can't cast your blink, you can still go down. Now, we see both teams doing a 4-1 split, like we said, in opposite lanes, trying to put pressure on. Now the real question here is going to be, how does the new layout affect these games? Because we're seeing both teams being really aggressive on their respective lanes, but there's only one mercenary camp on Ogres for each team now, Zoya.
It's just still so new to me. Every time I see this map, I still kind of want to feel that the team that has bottom lane has the advantage, because I feel it's easier to gank top, since you can come below from the little entryway here, whereas the version of it on the bottom lane, you can't come from below it. You know, there's no secret ganks coming from that direction. So I kind of feel that in that sense, bottom lane has the advantage, but it's not something that's absurdly broken.
Yeah. So we see the blue team get an early mercenary camp, and now Glorious is responding by moving the Arthas back to their own. Now, interestingly enough, on this map, the mercenaries never fight each other. If you get mercenaries, the enemy gets mercenaries, they go to opposite lanes. Your mercenaries always go to the side that your Grave Golem is not on. So blue team's ogres go to top side, red team's ogres go to bottom side, because that's the side where their golem is not.
Thank you for pointing that out. That's something I hadn't realized. That's actually a really interesting map mechanic that is kind of unique to this map only, really.
Yeah, definitely. Now Wildfire taking the advantage and getting into this mines really fast. I like that play a lot. Both teams only at level 3 here. This is really early. And Wildfire securing some skull leads, although Glorious trying to find a fight here.
Glauron getting a little bit ahead of himself there. Here comes all of Poom going for the charge right now. Cthulhu doing a lot of damage to him. The Arthas does land, so Cthulhu getting stunned. Might get killed by Pickles. He does blink in there and goes straight for the kill. Poom still not dead. ZP having to back up, and Poom still going for more blood here. Glauron going for the chase. He does end up getting the kill. Currently a 1-for-1. Glorious has to back off, though. They are all way too low. The rest of Wildfire is full health. Pickles, will he be able to land a blink and kill Glauron? I don't think so. And they're just, now they just have full control of the mine zone. They're going to get a huge skull advantage.
Absolutely. Glorious traded 1-for-1 there, but ended up so much lower on health because they didn't have a healer with them that they couldn't take advantage of that, and they ended up getting forced out of the mines. And now that means Wildfire is going to have a huge advantage in the skulls here.
On your in-game screen, actually we have a little bit of fight going on right now. Glauron and Syracuse have to back out. Are you seeing the, like, when you're actually looking at the in-game physically, are you seeing it really bright along the heroes?
Yeah, no, there's definitely some weird lighting stuff happening in the
turn down
right
your, it happened on the Plant Terra map as well. Maybe adjust your graphics settings.
Pause. Okay,
yeah, let's pause. Because that's really, I was watching the stream on my second monitor and that was obnoxious.
Okay, what do we think that is? Because there was definitely some weird bloom going on. Maybe we just turn graphics down to medium.
Yeah, set to medium.
And just go with it.
I usually run on medium, and I've never had that happen before, so it's got to be something. Right. With reflections or something, I don't know.
Yeah, you know, fancy shader stuff, some god lighting, who knows. Anyway,
what time are you at?
We're here, technical alpha cast at 4 minutes. So
okay.
Are you with me?
I'm at 4:07. I'll just let you catch up.
Alright, I'll catch up right now, starting now. Let you know when we get to 4:07, which should be right about now.
Okay.
There we go. So we see this Wildfire team engaging the golem. There is no longer any ridiculous lighting here, so that's good. We can actually see what's happening. So Wildfire has a really commanding skull lead here, and Glorious is just trying to compensate by getting the knights where they can.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a tough hold either way. What's the skull count? It is 78 to 22. That is a pretty big advantage when it comes to the golem's health. They did take the knights, like you said, which is... But we already see that Wildfire's heading down there, so the knights should be cleaned up before the golem even starts pushing, which is going to be great for Wildfire.
Those knights won't do any damage to Wildfire's golem. Now, because on this map, the mercenaries are now split from the golem, it's kind of interesting. Both teams have a tendency to trade the first fort, because with that first golem, either team can get the first fort if they push with it typically. But because it's so much earlier than in the old Haunted Mines, neither team is going to ever have a level 10 advantage usually for the first golem. Right. So you're not going to get that really ridiculous push. So now it's a question of whether each team will decide to push with their golem or defend, and whether they can get a fort off of it.
Well, Glorious is going to be defending against that huge golem. It currently has, I can't see stage right now, a Cthulhu getting slowed there by Pickles. Will they secure the kill? Super fast, no Odin to live there, and a quick kill going to Wildfire. We do see the healing ward getting immediately taken out there. They try to throw it down. Soma is so low as well. This is a pretty scary push. Boom, getting Glauron there, going to knock, give a huge spike damage on him. Trying to heal him up. Will he be able to secure the kill? Pickles going for it. Boom charges in, secures another kill. Currently 2-for-0 in favor of Wildfire. And this golem is still almost full health. They should be able to get this easy.
Yeah, this is definitely a fort for Team Wildfire. And on that top lane, Glorious's golem not really doing much. I mean, it's going to get that front wall down, but it's not going to do anything after that. And now we see Syracuse getting caught by the Shadow Charge into Overpower. Vim's finishing it off. It looks like Witch Doctor, he's the secret sauce, Zoya. You're right.
Witch Doctor, the secret sauce.
Secret
Currently kills are 5-1 right now in favor of Wildfire. Neither team has hit level 10 yet. Good job from Wildfire taking the Merc camps, using that Merc Lord. This is an awkward position for the Merc Lord to be in because the tower won't be able to hit them. They're just going to be able to lay siege to this wall, and if Glorious doesn't react.
I mean, Glorious already has their hands full in this bottom lane. They caught some people in that cross, but it's not going to be enough. Looks like Team Wildfire going to take the front of this fort and then back off. They're not looking to fight here. They want to wait till they get level 10. That's going to be the turning point. And one thing that happened is Wildfire, in order to commit for this bottom front of the fort, they actually gave up about 20 creeps worth of experience on this top lane that they could have gone back and gotten. So they're not as far ahead as they might be. They would be level 10 if they had gone back and soaked that big wave that had built up with the golem. But as is, they've got a fort advantage, they've got the front of the keep down, and Team Glory is not in a position to really do anything here with their own mercenaries down.
I like that you point that out. It's something that a lot of teams are starting to do, but it's nowhere near perfected. Just knowing when to back off, just for gaining experiences purposes. You know, when a wave is that big and whatnot, you have the false stat fly. So utilizing that to soak experience is something that they could have done a little bit better there. But they still have that advantage right now. It is 9-11. Another Merc Lord push coming top lane. Mine's not even in sight right now.
Yeah, definitely a good call by this Wildfire team. They're taking advantage of their 10 to level 8, and they're going to try and force this fort down with these mercenary lord rivers. And if they can do that before the mines spawn, they're going to have a really huge advantage. And there's nothing Glorious can do here. The best thing Glorious could possibly hope for is to soak XP from both lanes and hope to get some skulls in the mines. But they're in a really, really bad position on the back foot here.
We do see heroics have been taking nothing crazy, all the standard heroics for each of these characters, and they're going to keep pushing with these mercenaries. They are full health, they do 50% extra damage. I mean, it's level 11 versus 9 right now. Do you think they can take this inner keep?
Committing to this keep is scary because it takes so long to kill the keep at this level that it's very possible Glorious hits level 10 and starts to engage. So without getting a pick there, it's pretty smart of Wildfire to just pull back. They're going to go in the mines, and this mines is do or die for Glorious. Glorious has to go in the mines and get skulls, or they are going to fall way further behind. So you can see Glorious is 5 stacked, walking towards that bottom entrance. They're going to try and get a surprise off, but it looks like Wildfire has got their players in a position to where that's not going to be super effective.
Already cleared 4 camps.
Yeah, I mean,
so
that
well
is a huge clear.
Oh, and they're not even going for them. Glorious is just one ham.
Yeah, Glorious is just trying to man mode down this fort. Maybe, no, they just killed the front side. Now Team Wildfire coming out of here. Void Prison goes down. It traps the Demon Hunter, but is it enough? ZP is out there in the front. He doesn't have level 10 yet. No Army of the Dead to save him. Wildfire gonna get a pick here, and now Glaurung in a bad position.
Yep.
And
without that leap, he's not able to get away, and they will secure the kill. It does end up falling. Try to delay as long as he can.
Yeah. Just trying to buy time there by running left. It's not towards his own base. There's no hope of him actually living. He's just trying to buy time, and he buys some time, but buying time doesn't really do anything when you got a 100 skull golem looking you in the eye, man.
And that's looking like what it's going to be, a 100 skull golem with a potential level 13 versus level 10. This is looking scary for Glorious. I mean,
yeah, Glorious is in a really. I don't know if there's a way for Glorious to get back in this game without a huge misstep from Wildfire. We see Glorious on that top side of the mines. They're just hoping to intercept maybe one person out of position. Really just looking for anything they can find here, and they're not going to find anything. Wildfire very carefully all runs to that bottom side as a stack. Not going to get picked off. Even going for these knights here.
And the thing is, it's a legit 100 skull golem. They got every single skull. The health on it's going to be say, here comes ZP from the bottom. Will he be able to do much here? Go straight for Pumi, going straight after Iacona. Pickles over here fighting Soma off in the corner. Witchstalker ult coming from around the corner. Here comes the Apocalypse. Glaurung leaps across, but doesn't actually stun the Witchstalker. Witchstalker ult doing so much damage right now for Soma. Trying to stay alive here. Soma gets a huge heal off on him. Whom, on the verge of death, does end up falling right now. It's currently a 2-for-1, but with the Diablo having that many souls, he's immediately back online. It's now a 5 versus 2. The 100 skull golem is going to take that keep.
Yeah, so that was not the greatest trade for Glorious, but pretty good for what they could consider given how far behind they were. They got 1 kill and they got the night camp, so they came out about even in XP. but that 100 skull golem is going to kill the keep, and it was going to do that no matter what. So just buying time to keep Team Wildfire off of their golem and prevent them from getting the core is going to be the key here. Now they are level 11. They're not so far behind. They're 3 levels, 1 talent down. Difficult to win a team fight, but if they can manage to fight while this Apocalypse is down and they don't have ults, there's a chance. This Golem is not looking to let that happen, though.
Not a single heroic is up right now for Wildfire, but the Golem is just way too strong. Going straight on to Soma. Pickles dives in. Does get stunned by ZPS. Here comes a huge trade from Circus. Nice Void Prism from Pickles, immediately interrupting that. Glaron going to end up taking them down. The Golem is still wailing against this Palace, though. Huge heal on ZPS right now. Is currently a 5 versus 4. Boom. Getting stunned right now. Nice freeze from ZPS. Going to take him down. Rhaegar does fall as well. Palace is a little over half HP right now. Big ultimate from Iocona. ZPS looks like he's going to fall here. Glaurung and Kazumluk are both low as well. Will they be able to save each other? No, they're not. Witch Doctor ult comes up just in time, secures another kill, and this is definitely going to be GG. The Golem is still alive. Witch Doctor ult doing a lot of damage there, and there is the game. Wildfire, Witch Doctor, both taking another win.
Yeah, I mean, that fight at first looked really bad for Wildfire. But they stayed alive just long enough to get that second rotation of ultimates to come back up, and it was enough to end the game. And oh, wow, just another illustration of how hard it is to defend on the mine.